Hey Mark, here's a fun little Google Earth tour of my property on the side of Gold Hill. But there's downtown Lake City. There's that property you were looking at just north of town. Here's Round Top. We used to take those Jeeps and go all the way up here to the top of Round Top, which is cool. And right back here is Red Mountain and Lake San Cristobal there. But zooming in on the property, there's the Vickers Dude Ranch. Here's the path up through those upper ranch. Water Dog's probably a little bit farther up here. Yeah, Water Dog's probably way up there somewhere. Maybe up in there or up over there. Probably there. Is that Water Dog there? No. Water Dog. Oh, there's Water Dog right there. There's Water Dog. That was always a highlight of the summer upper ranch going to Water Dog. But here's the property, and the cookout is way up here at the top right there. Here's the property. It's 300 feet wide, 3,000 feet long. You know, you go out past the you go out past. Well, you basically go out. That's where I click the wrong thing here. So click path. So there's where the alpaca massacre site is. So you go up, starting to head up 149 to Slum and turn off and go on that little driveway. And then here's this little area down here where you get to my new driveway. Now this is where the all new driveway was put in. Up there. And a two-wheel drive can go up this easily. So Buffy or Joanna easily can drive up this with kids in the car and not too scary. And then they get up right up to this spot. And in a minute, I'm gonna include a little video that kind of shows that. But right here, this area here can be kind of cleared out and flattened out. Okay. Um, and a cabin go. And that's really the only place that I can see a cabin going without having, somebody driving up crazy, scary, steep stuff that just freak people out. So, for guys like us with wives, this is the only place. The problem is, I'm gonna clear it. So you're talking about, that's, right there. That's about 75 feet, and then that's and then basically 30 feet, 40 feet, so 70. So you can pretty much have a flattened out spot there to put a house. What you can do is you can put in a little spot right beneath it where you can put a driveway. So you have to pull off the switchback, pull in, park, maybe walk up a few steps to get to the deck, and then walk across the deck to get into your cabin. The views are spectacular. I'm really skeptical that you're going to be able to get a septic in here without the leach field going off the property. So if you bootleg it without the BLM knowing, maybe. But the other problem is that it's just sometimes you get down a few feet and it's solid rock, and you need to have some depth for septic. So you'd actually might even have to do some jackhammering or even dynamiting to get down there. So that's one problem. Water, like I said, the well, you could go down 200-300 feet and never hit water, and so really that's not viable. And then I told you about Gene Brown. So Gene Brown he ran a power line. Where was it? He was running a power line, and I think the power line was like somewhere like over here, and it went across, and this power line went over towards where he's got some property over here. And so since he had the trench open, I think somewhere around here he put in he put in a little extra thing that I paid like 2,500 bucks or 3,500 bucks for 10 years ago, which makes it so you're going to be going clear it. So you're going to have to dig a trench from here to the property. Plus, it's going to be BLM, and you're going to have to right away easement on that trench for power. It's just going to cost 100 grand. Not worth it. Water, not worth it. So really, the only thing that can really go here is just, also, if you could have a truck, the water truck that could go up the switchback, you could put a 2,500 gallon water tank there. I don't know if you need that much for a cabin if you're only going to be there for a week, but they could fill that water tank and gravity drain down to your cabin. You'd never know you didn't have a well. You'd have plenty of water. And solar panels on a roof, you can have a solar system on a roof that's, for a cabin, a small cabin for 25, 30,000, a solar installation that gives you all the power you need. Other than that, you'd have to have composting toilets. So, but let me show you a couple more things. So the view, let me clear that, close that, and show you the view from this lower building site. So this is the lower building site. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay, so this is what the view is from the lower building site. You're looking up, you're looking south, kind of south, a little bit east towards Lake San Cristobal. If you had a telescope out there on a tripod, you see this whole valley. Sometimes you can see those hang gliders or paragliders flying around over Station 11. And then looking straight out, there's some big windows. You would have, come on, stupid little thing. Then you can go up like this. You see, you have this view of Round Top. You have this view of the lakes of the Vickers Dude Ranch. And it'd be just very relaxing to sit and watch, and sometimes watching a car drive down then, or just very peaceful. And then let me show you. Now, one of my thoughts would be to have, to have a garage on this little property. So it's gonna be a little cabin, and then have a garage with a couple ATVs, or bring a trailer from California with my ATVs on it, like you would do from Dallas. You wouldn't want to let ATVs sit there year round, and then bring those ATVs, and then the ones that are more adventurous. This is where you'd have the cabin. The women would stay down here, but then you and me on ATVs would go up these switchbacks. This is where there's just this really amazing spot. The views are much better. You can see Lake San Cristobal much better. Let me show you that. So from this spot, it'd be a nice little cabin with these trees around it. So you'd have these beautiful trees that are framing the whole valley. And then this is you got a higher view overlooking the Dude Ranch and Round Top, and then you'd actually see the Lake San Cristobal water a lot better from this upper site. And just, gosh, I could just imagine relaxing up there for hours, and then at night having a bonfire. And it could have bunk beds, and everything. But I gave up on my idea to get the road all the way to the top. The road all the way to the top would have been, this up, crazy. Hold on. It would have been, we would have had to have this road. Come on, where's the little path? So you'd have to have this road that would just keep switchbacking up like this, and to get to the top. Not only would it scar the hillside, but it would be just crazy, freakishly dangerous and steep. And you drove off one of those edges, and you're going to tumble 1,000 feet down. But up here, have a cabin up here. That's why I really dreamed of having them let me have upper road easement to get to the property, because that's just, now you come up here, look what this property, look what this view's like. The view from the cookout. So you'd have this view, the cookout's right here, and then you've got this view here down. You'd be here with a beautiful cabin, and that cabin would have this spectacular view of Lake San Cristobal, and just soak it up. But that, I don't see any way to ever get a way to get up to that property. So that's kind of it. So really, what I'm thinking about is just a small 12 foot by 16 feet is small enough to not need any permits, any construction permits or anything. So it'd be 12.5 feet times 16 feet, and that would that would, and then like have just sliding glass doors on on the whole side of the cabin. That's the view side. So you have this whole side of the cabin, and then just have a little toilet, little shower, little kitchen. Have the loft with some mattresses. Sleep there or skip it. Have a bonfire. Have a deck out front. Have a bonfire area out front, and just for me and buddies going up there, we'd totally be fine staying at that cabin. Or in hunting season, I mean, hunters would probably be happy to go, pay to stay at that cabin because then they could just take their horses all the way up and go hunting up in this upper area here. So anyway, sorry for being long-winded. That's it for now. Thanks, Mark. Bye. So this is a clip that I'm going to play a little bit, but then I'm going to pause it and kind of show you, Mark, where the little cabin goes. This is where two-wheel drive can get up to this spot. So in a clip I'll put right before this, you'll see the whole drive from down below up to this. That's safe for Aunt Buffy or Joanna. But property. Let's see. So that's right there. Fin. Right there. So right above this fin sign, Terry gave me this fin sign, but right above this is this little area here where there's a shelf. And what you do is you'd cut this, cut like right here, and to the left of this, you'd make a driveway, and it would go out, it'd be plenty wide, 12 feet wide, and it would be like, 25 feet long going in that way. So you could pull 2 or 3 vehicles in there, front to end, maybe 30 feet, straight into there. You have to take out this tree. But then the little cabin would be just right up here on this little flat spot. Let me go forward a little more. Fin sign. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see it there. I mean, so it's right up there. It's that little area there. So when you pulled into your driveway right here, you could keep this tree. That'd be good holding the ground together. But then your driveway would be here. And then when you wanted to come out, there wouldn't be a turnaround. You'd have to back out. You'd back out this way and then come back down the same way I just came up. But that kind of shows you where that is. And there's a fin sign. This is another spot. It's right above the spot I just showed you where it had the fin sign. And this is right above it. I don't know, 30, 40, 50 feet. And this is where up here, let me just play it going forward. To 18 degrees. So you see that's pretty darn steep right there. I mean, that's 45-degree hill because it's going top right. Yeah, 35, 40 degrees, very steep. But here's a spot where what you would do is this switchback turns right and goes up here, but you would basically bulldoze out there another 30 feet. You'd make a spot that's wide like this, make it 15 feet wide, and that's where you could put a 1,500 gallon or a 2,500 gallon water tank, and then your water truck would come up here at the beginning of the season, fill it up, and then your cabin down below would have plenty of water for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, and not have to worry about a well. This is the poor man's way, but you'd have plenty of water. This here is a few switchbacks above the last one, and this is where Gene made this area that first building site is here. Would have would have plenty of space, and it's more flat, and you could really spread out a house. But it has this part of it that's way too steep for the women. It would be dangerous. They'd freak out. If they freaked out too much and forgot to use the brakes, they'd have a crash and die. Hold on. Gene did some. So you see this whole area. It's on the property line, but this whole area can be brought down and flat and have a big old spot for a building site. Let me show you where that is. So this is this here is where the fin sign is, right here down there, and then the switchback. This is where I'm showing you that you'd put the water tower right up there, right above there. But then you go up this really, really steep stuff here, turn your left, and then here's this area where I'm just showing you this area that it's really could be spread out and a nice open spot. So that's that area.
Flattening out of the area dug out, flattened, and it will probably have the property going out a little farther out that way. Go up to the ideal building site that I think has the best view.
And then Mark, right above that site I just showed you is my absolute favorite spot. It's right at this next switchback. It switches and goes up left, up there. But if you kept going straight, there's this area that would be just spectacular. I think there'd be enough space to make like a little parking area. So if I threw a little party and a bunch of my friends from town came up in their 4x4s or their ATVs or their motorcycles, there'd be plenty of place to park. And then there'd be this really cool, I'd have a little cabin and a patio, a deck, and then a bonfire, and we just hang out and visit, and it just really would be cool. Let me push play.
To the site. So if you went straight on this turn.
Yeah, so right there, over here is where I would bulldoze and make a little parking area so the cars are behind us. Then right here would be like a cabin, right in here, a cabin right there. And then over here out would be a deck and a bonfire.
Instead of turning, you went straight up. These trees here would surround the home. And I'll get out and do some videotaping up in there. And the view, I'll show you the view in a minute, but the lake is out there behind that tree. Packer Massacre site, left turn there. Come up to the part where you're about to do some steep climbing up Slumgullion. And right here on this curve is a dirt road. Check, make sure it's clear. That's the road that goes up high. We used to ATV up there. They got a gate now. This is an old BLM road. It's probably, gosh, I would guess it's at least 60 years old or more. This BLM road leads us to our, what we call our driveway. Not really a driveway, it's a new right-of-way that I got permission from the BLM to bulldoze to get to my property that's surrounded by BLM. And that's it, that gray road going up there. Put in four-wheel drive. Now we're in four-wheel drive and we'll head up. This first turn is where Gene Brown had to do quite a bit of bulldozing. I mean, not bulldozing, dynamiting. This was solid rock on here. Going up this stuff. Probably up till about here. That's where it was kind of, it was just solid rock. And this is the last turn of BLM before you get onto our 20 acres. 10 of the 20 is called the Empire Lode, that's the lower 10 acres. 10 of the acres is called the Belle of St. Louis, that's the upper 10 acres. The property is 300 feet wide, and each of the claims is 1,500 feet long. And since they're end to end, it's a 3,000 foot long piece of property that's basically the width of a football field. And we're coming up to the property line. There's no marker, but now we are on the property. And this is the first turn on the property. There's the Finn sign. Terry Finn gave that to me. Set up 2 more turns and then it's a straightaway up to the first building site. The grade ranges from 15 degrees or 13 degrees to 18 degrees. This part here is a little sharp. Let's see if we can do it without taking it out of gear. Without. Oh, that worked. Just let it coast back and drive. This is the first straightaway that's pretty steep. We're hoping to get this grade down lower and make it get maybe wider and less bumpy. But overall, we're very pleased with Gene Brown's first pass on this road. Here we have another sharp turn. See if we can make it. Yeah, no problem. First building site is here. Gene did some flattening out of the area, dug out, flattened, and it will probably have the property going out a little farther out that way. Go up to the ideal building site that I think has the best view, and it's surrounded by trees, and Skip Hewitt, our surveyor, liked it as the building site as well. Also, this goes from steep, but here's like 18-degree grade right there. And here we're coming up to the site. So if you went straight on this turn, instead of turning, you went straight up. These trees here would surround the home, and I'll get out and do some videotaping up in there. And the view, I'll show you the view in a minute, but the lake is out there behind that tree. All right, so I'm gonna video in the pipe, okay, Michael?
Okay.
Okay, Juliana?
Okay.
Okay.
Gonna catch the phone on the other side.
Can I see now?
Yep, and it goes up that way, it comes down all the way from there.
We're gonna go all the way.
All right, Michael, I'm ready to see the skip. Whoa! Nice.
I'm not skipping.
All right, let's try it again. Do it again. All right, make it skip. Oh, wow, that was great.
You know what? Let me tell you.
I can't see it.
Michael, it's over here.
Wait! Yeah! Wait! See? Wait! I can't see it! See it! Wait!
Michael, what do you think? Is that fun?